Hi, welcome back to Filmmakers Lounge. We're here this time with Alyssa Bascon, our good friend of ours, and she also went to school with us. This time, we're going to be showing her short Letters I'll Never Send, which recently was in the Las Vegas Film Festival, and want to talk about it a little bit, let people know what they're about to watch.
So Letters I'll Never Send is basically just a short drama narrative. It follows the character Allison, who narrates letters that she wrote to an almost lover. And I don't know, we made this film in hopes of exploring the human experience and like what we as people experience when, you deal with unrequited love and all of that. Unrequited. Is it unrequited or unrequited?
Unquilted.
But yeah, no, that's what we were going for with this film, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was a long process to get it done, and so I'm just really happy that it's finished. Yeah.
Awesome. How was the experience of showing it at the Las Vegas Film Festival?
It was different just because I had never actually submitted a film to a festival before, and I've never gone to my own film festival. So going there, the atmosphere, it's different. It's cool. You go and you meet a bunch of these people that are kind of about like a part of this big community, like a filmmaking community. So like you can really talk about your films and people will understand like what you're saying and what you're talking about. And it was really great. There were a lot of great films that showed, and I was just like very humbled that like my film was among them. So it's a very humbling experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching her short film. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about it a little more after. So stay tuned, and hope you guys enjoy.
I loved you. I loved you blindly and all too well. They told me not to wear my heart on my sleeve, but it was too heavy to carry in my chest. Instead, I filled myself with things I wish I could say, but wouldn't dare to. Not when you sought the love of others while I loved you all on my own. So, here they are. All of the words I spoke to you in dreams and swallowed in reality. They're not meant to change your mind or make you feel guilty. I just think it's time you knew how I loved you.
as we laid in our beds, miles apart, with the whole night sky and mountains between us. Did you ever think of me? When we sat on the couch, our legs touching, while surrounded by friends. Did you ever think of me? When you kissed her lips and laughed at my jokes. Did you ever think of me? When you drank whiskey to try and fix your heart after she broke it. When I ran my fingers through your hair as you were falling asleep. Did you think of me? When I moved to another state and distance made my heart grow fonder. When I heard you found comfort in another. Did you ever think of me? When you told me you missed me and made promises you knew you couldn't keep. Did you think of me? When I needed saving, but it was too hard for you. Did you think of me at all? Ever? Even once. Through it all, there were only two things I ever thought about. I thought about you, and I thought about us. I thought I could change myself. Hoping I could leave you behind, along with the person I once was when I was with you. It didn't work. I can try to change how I feel, but I can't change my memories. I can't change what was real. You never loved me, and that was real. You broke my heart once, but I broke my own heart over and over every time I replayed our conversations in my head. Every time I stayed up at night thinking about what ifs, wishing things were different, dreaming about a world in which we existed as lovers. I started to fall in love with what could have been and realized that isn't the same as being in love with you. Because being in love with you hurt. It hurt like hell, but I kept going. When I reached the end, that's when it happened, and I knew. I fell in love with life, and fell out of love with you. I finally realized after all this time of being angry with you that none of it changes what happened between us and who we were together. We might not have been destined to be lovers, but I know we were destined to be friends. After all the pain we put each other through, I couldn't be more happy that life is better for you because of her. Some of what happened between us may be beyond both of our understanding, but what I do know is that I love you and will always love you. Maybe not how I used to or how you want me to, but I do. You'll be my friend now and forever. Out of all the things I used to hope for from you, I now only hope that you stay happy and
become the person you've always wanted to be.
Hi, welcome back to Filmmakers Lounge. We're still here with Alyssa. Hope you guys enjoyed her awesome short. We're going to talk a little bit about her short before we go into when we watch her short again and commentate over it. So, how was the making of Letters?
So the making of Letters was kind of challenging at first, since we actually started pre-production in September of last year, so 2015, and then we shot the first letter in October, and originally we had decided that we wanted to release it as a series, so 3 separate films, since there's 3 separate letters. But you know, when we finally decided that we wanted to submit this to a festival, it would be a lot more cleaner, I guess you could say, if we submit it as one whole big movie and just have the letters sectioned off within the movie, like how they saw just now. So there was that, and then also with Letter 2, there was kind of like we had to actually travel to California to shoot it, and when we got the footage and we came back and we started editing, we realized it wasn't the look that we were going for, so that set us back like another month or 2, and so we didn't get to reshoot. We shot Letter 3, and then we still had to reshoot Letter 2, which we weren't able to do because of scheduling until April. So it was kind of just dragged out over like 5 months, which was kind of like tedious and just a little bit unsettling. But overall, I think we ended up getting the final product that we wanted originally, which is good. So, I mean, it was challenging, but I'm glad it happened the way it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about when you guys originally first shot Letters 2? What was it that like you didn't find the look you were looking for?
So, as you can see in the film, Letter 2 is all about her finding herself and like falling in love with life, you know? And when we first originally shot Letter 2, we shot it in downtown LA, and it was still the same concept of her just like, you know, going around by herself taking pictures, and I had imagined like taking pictures of like the beautiful architecture and like seeing how it's a completely different setting than Letter 1. But just going back into the editing room, the footage, it was just like, you know, buildings. It just looked like buildings and her walking down, you know, downtown LA is not like the cleanest place. So it didn't look as lively and like full of life as I thought it would. And so that's when I decided, you know, we can't use any of this footage. It doesn't look like she's falling in love with life. It just looks like she's walking around downtown LA, which just didn't fit the story. So that's why we went ahead and like kind of went back into pre-production and like brainstormed a bunch of ideas to really get the look of Letter 2. And we went back to California, but we shot in different locations that look obviously more full of life. And like there's color and like you see her, like you can see her actually like enjoying the setting that she's in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's definitely a huge contrast seeing her obviously throughout like halfway of the film with like her being in this dark room.
Confined space. Yeah.
And then it transitions into her being out and you know and you know the
world,
beach and everywhere, and it's you get that sensation, like feeling everything. So I definitely get that. In regards to story-wise, how did you necessarily come up with this idea, and how do you relate to it? Like, how did you
Was it a
pull this?
long process?
Yeah.
For Letters as a whole?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, you know, life imitates art and vice versa. Art imitates life. So a lot of the inspiration I got for this film was actually from, you know, my experience with love and like other people's experience with love, and I kind of meshed it all together to create this sort of like personal closure thing. Because, you know, in the end, when a relationship ends and you kind of want to find closure with that person, but you don't always get the closure that you want. You don't get to say the words that you wish you had said. But in the end, it's better if like you have closure with yourself, like you are able to accept it yourself, and that's basically what the film is. Yeah.
We see that clearly, obviously. So we're gonna watch the short film now. Okay. We're gonna commentate over it, maybe see shot for shot how you planned that, whatever. Just talk about it, and let's get that rolling.
I got the chills. I really did. Just once I saw your intro, I got the chills.
I could calm down.
I loved you blindly and all too well. They told me not to wear my heart on my sleeve.
I've always
But
loved
it was
like
too heavy
the
to
music
carry in
you
my
choose
chest.
for all your shorts.
Thank you.
It's like, I feel like
Instead,
everyone I've seen at our school or anywhere else that I know personally,
Don't choose really good music.
dare to.
you use the most perfect music.
Yeah.
Music is a huge,
Exactly.
so important.
I feel like it's one of, if not the most important thing.
So,
It
feel
really
like-
sets the tone for the film.
Exactly,
all of the
dude.
words I spoke to you in dreams and swallowed in reality, they're not meant to change your mind or make you feel guilty. I just think it's time you knew.
Is this
how
your
I
first time
loved you.
watching it, Edgar?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's because you haven't like put this out publicly.
No, not yet.
You've only like saved this for the short film or your
Yeah, for the
film
festival. But I should be posting it soon.
Yeah.
So
Dude, you have to, man.
Who was your director of photography?
Jeremy Lee. Jeremy Lee. He's a part of Ismahawk, which is like based here. It's a YouTube channel based here in Vegas, and they make a ton of like big, more like pop culture geek, like action, like superhero stuff, which is really cool though. Yeah, he's really good.
Their stuff is always amazing. Just on top, just par. Well, I mean, we've had him help us on the short that we all did.
We all did. Yeah,
we
we're
all did,
okay.
That was the biggest wake-up call we've had.
I know.
It was like once he showed up, we're like, we have to change everything
Focus,
we learned.
yeah.
Exactly. Phenomenal guy. What? Oh, you told me a story about this scene. So when you're shooting this and when she was pouring out shots for herself,
Yeah.
she was actually going full out.
She was
And-
going full out because, like, obviously a shot, it's like that shot glass especially is pretty big,
Yeah.
and she pours it. It's that take we just saw. She pours it, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And she pauses, and she pours more, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, she's really committing to it. And I asked her,
Yeah.
I was like, why did you take such a big shot? She says, because I know Allison would take a big shot. Yeah.
It's amazing. How long have you worked with? Her name's Christina, right?
Christina,
She actually
yes.
chugged that?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
She
I've-
went all out.
Yeah, I've been working with her for like a year and a half now. Yeah. She's amazing.
How many shorts have you done with her so far?
I've done
So many you can't put on your hand anymore.
like 5, like
Yeah,
at
5
least
shorts?
5, yeah.
Would you say this is one of your favorites?
Yeah,
With this?
kind of just how like David O. Russell has his Jennifer Lawrence. She's
Yeah.
my Jennifer Lawrence. Like
Or like the director of Drive, Neil something, he always uses Ryan Gosling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when you find that team that works
Yeah.
really well and you know you can produce like the best of the best, then
You have a solid
you
team.
work with them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How big was your team when you worked on
And
these?
we sat on the couch,
Literally, it was just me,
our legs touching.
my actor, and my DP,
Just the three of
who
you?
was also my cameraman. Yeah.
Very,
Wow.
very.
A
it's
very, very
intimate.
small team, yeah.
Did you ever think of me?
You know,
Kissed her lips.
in the script writing process,
Mm-hmm.
I know at least when I work on my short films, I at least try to find music that helps me write out certain scenes.
Did
Mm-hmm.
you
And then once I
ever
piece
think
them
of me?
together, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
When you were writing this and you saw
Uh-huh.
it pieced together, was it exactly how you imagined? Was it like different, or was it like?
It
how-
was a little different because originally when I wrote the script, it wasn't even a script to begin with. It was just like kind of like a short, like letters. These are all letters that were basically written by me. So it's all in letter format. And then once you translate it into a script, you have to break it into pieces, right? And so when I first read it, it's just like
Think of me.
a big paragraph. But when you put it into film, there's the seconds in between every line she says. And I feel like that's what made it so different and actually added more weight to what the letter is actually saying. Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot this at?
We actually shot this in Jeremy's bedroom. This is
Oh,
Jeremy's
nice.
bedroom, yeah. That was a funny note. That part right there with the text messages, I remember as we're on set and I'm telling her, you know, look at your phone as if you just saw a text from him. And, you know, what kind of reaction would that give Allison? And apparently she didn't hear that direction from me at all. She thought that she was going to see the phone but have no text messages and that she wanted a text from him. But the fact that her reaction still matched with what I wanted, it's like, it's crazy how it still worked out. Yeah.
For both, for all of you.
Uh-huh.
Did you think of me?
How was it with her doing the voiceover? Like I know, like we see the visual, but
Yeah.
then obviously the audio
Like, I
is
need
a
to
separate
see
process of like getting
Yeah.
her to record the voiceover.
But
How
it's
was
too
that?
hard
Like
for
getting
you.
her to read these lines,
That
or
state of mind.
yeah, and get her
And
into
that-
the state of mind right here
It
without
was-
this visual. Or
Was it a new challenge for you when you had to?
I thought it
there.
would be a challenge because we shot this and then we actually went to my house, which is a completely different setting,
Yeah.
to do the ADR. And we're sitting on my bed and we have the mic set up. And I just said, okay, think about this morning and what you were feeling throughout the entire like shoot. And every time you ask, like, did you ever think of me? I want you to give me a different like feel every time, because you know, if you keep repeating the same things over and over, it gets kind of monotone. And first try, she gave it to me. All of this is on the first take.
Only two things that I
Yeah.
thought about.
that's awesome.
I thought about you. And I thought about us.
McDonald's fries? Is that McDonald's fries?
I mean, can't really show the logo, but
Like kind of got it from
yeah,
the
you gotta
colors a
cut
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
When you presented this for the Las Vegas Film Festival, were you really nervous, the three of you?
Oh my God. Well, Christina actually couldn't make it because she lives in LA.
Oh.
But it was just me and Jeremy, and we were the second film to show once the screenings start. And you know the opening when it shows up with the music and it's like, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was like hiding behind my hands like
Same.
half the time.
Did you have to like go up and present what the movie is about, or?
No, they start the screening, and then it's the film and film after film after film. And then after the screening, they have all the filmmakers stand up on stage, and then it's just open to questions.
Oh, so if anybody has
Has
any
the
questions, they
questions,
ask
yeah,
you
they
about
ask
the
you.
film and whatnot.
That's interesting. Just
work.
absolutely like.
Where did you guys shoot this at?
So this was at Lake Shrine. It's like a
feel,
fellowship of the Shrine Lake
but I
Uh-huh.
can't
in Los Angeles, actually.
Oh,
There are so many hidden gems in LA.
Yeah.
you just have to
Actually,
really
you
look
just have
for
to
it.
really research,
I
yeah.
can't change what was real.
It's absolutely beautiful, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Just.
He never loved me, and that was real.
And this was at the Huntington Botanical Gardens,
Uh-huh.
which is a little, it's outside of LA. It's kind of a drive, but it's so worth it. It's so beautiful there.
Oh, I love those flowers.
He broke my heart once.
And Jeremy shot this on his Blackmagic Pocket.
I broke
Yes.
my own heart
Yeah.
over and over.
Was that his only setup? Was it just his black magic, or did he bring any other equipment with him?
Well, since we were shooting in like, locations like this, you don't want to bring so much
Yeah.
equipment.
With you? 'Cause
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
So it was just the camera and just like a little pouch he has full of lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreaming about a world in which we existed as lovers.
So for these scenes,
started
in
to
particular
fall
with her
What
going
could have been.
going out
Realized that
and
isn't
exploring,
the same as being
how
with
does that portray for you in the story? Like necessarily, like how when you're writing this,
Yes.
how were you imagining it?
I was imagining it like, since coming from letter one, like we said, confined space. And it's almost as if she's stuck with him in that confined space because
Yeah.
all that there is are her memories of him and all that. And then when she goes out into the world, like, she sees different parts of different, people and different places and things. And, like, he's not there anymore. And it's almost like there's more to life than just, being stuck with my memories, being stuck with him in my room. Like, I can experience life on my own without him,
That's what happened.
which is basically essentially moving on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew. I fell in love with life.
Oh man, I love
I
that.
fell out of love with you.
It just gave me some feels. Right now. Just looking at that.
I saw on the Las Vegas Film Festival Facebook page, they had a screenshot of that.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw the
I saw that.
Instagram. Yeah,
I was like,
so.
oh, that's Alyssa's short
I
film.
couldn't believe that they did that. That was really wow. It was really.
I know, it's
Crazy.
so cool.
Have you ever planned on submitting this to any other film festivals?
We are actually thinking
are?
about. Yeah. There's a couple that we have planned.
This is just the start.
Exactly.
There's more.
I finally realized after all
I
this
wanted
time
to
of
use
being
this song.
angry with you,
I'm sorry, Joseph.
I recognized this song. I was like,
we were together.
Who is this actor?
you've used them before. haven't
Noel Shefflin. I've used him before.
Yeah.
He's in
But
one of my other short films,
Okay.
Wish You Were Here.
you? With Christina as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
too,
Yes,
right?
yes, with
I
Christina as
remember.
well too.
I remember.
Awesome.
I couldn't be more happy. that
Would
life
you
was
say
better for you
that
because
maybe
of
this
her.
is in the same universe as I Wish You Were Here before?
People have asked me that before, and I was like, I had never thought about it, but
Yeah.
it could be in the
What I
same
do
universe.
know is that
That's
I love you.
interesting.
Yeah, to think
Like that's
of.
her perspective.
Of
as
their
compared
whole
to-
relationship.
Yeah. Thought about it?
Wow.
Me too, but I do. You'll be my friend now and forever.
Same.
Dude, that hit me. Oh, so good. Amazing.
Oh,
just
thank you,
that
guys.
shot of just grabbing the hand and then boom, he's not there.
He's not there.
Oh my god.
Was he there at all?
No.
No.
Wait. Beautiful stuff. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And then there's all the places, that we went to.
So awesome. So I know when we shot our short film We're Okay,
Yeah.
that we had to like specifically reach out and get permission to shoot at certain locations. Did you do it with this one, or did you like guerrilla film it? Guerrilla.
So most of it was guerrilla style. There was one where I did call. I really wanted to make sure it was okay, and I left a message, and they never got back to me. So I was like, okay, I tried. Let's just go there and do it. Because, I mean, essentially they are personal projects. I'm not making these films to like make money. They're not commercialized or anything. It's more, like a passion project. So I don't see why not. Exactly.
Why
So I gave the special thanks.
Yeah.
So if they ever were to come across this, like, they could see I did acknowledge
You gave them credit.
I did for their
using
beautiful spaces.
locations.
Yeah.
Definitely one thing, especially since working with you and getting to know you, that just you're a phenomenal director. You know how to handle actors.
Thank
you.
Absolutely. Exactly. You know
you.
how to handle actors. You know exactly what you want. In regards to handling actors, especially with letters, how working with Christina, how is it directing Christina and necessarily getting an actor to get to the point of where you want them to be?
So I think what really helps is when you have an actor that really is an actor, and I mean they went to school for it, they studied for it, and what really makes it great for our team, for any team in general, is when you have an actor that does the work. They do the character work, they do the research, and then they have all they need, so when they come on set and you start talking about like, okay, well, I was thinking maybe for this shot or this scene, like, this is what you're gonna be doing and what you need and your motivation, your objections, or basically. And for them to just be like, either, okay, no, I see that, or, well, it's really interesting when I work with Christina because she'll be like, no, well, this is what I think. And then you kind of bounce back and forth, and you're basically just talking about the character and like finding out what's best for the character. So when you have an actor that really does the work and understands the character, it makes everything run super smoothly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When it comes to like script writing, like if you have like maybe an idea, like a really rough idea for like, let's say a short film, this is something I'm struggling with. I want to get advice. So if you are working towards something and you're writing, how do you necessarily not only work towards writing it and keep developing it, but also discipline and making sure you keep at it?
Oh,
how do you work on that?
It's tough. Writing is so tough. I don't think people understand. They think that you can just go in, you have an idea, and just like write it all out. And it's not. It's such a process. I mean, I have so many ideas right now for another upcoming film, but I have to do it in chunks because if I get an idea and I try to force myself to like write, it's not organic. It doesn't come naturally. I have to be really like inspired and motivated to do it. So what I do is when I have an idea, I jot down the idea and then I leave it for like a couple days. And throughout the couple days, I kind of like, I look for things in everyday life that might, serve or like help this idea. It could be anything. It could just be random. But I take notes, and so when I go back to my idea, I try to add the notes, and I'm just like, what works and what doesn't. And I don't know, sometimes it takes me like months to even finish like a complete, like good script or a scene even. So I don't know, my best advice would just be not to force it. It really has to come from like...
Come from the heart and let it flow
Yeah,
naturally.
come from
instead of forcing it, like
forcing
you
it. Because then if you get something that's forced, you miss stuff that might have, like if you're just very one track, like I need to write this scene now, or I need to like go with this direction of what I think is best for this idea, you kind of miss stuff when you're like forcing it. But if you just like go in, take a break, come back, look at it, if you still have nothing, it's okay, because it lets, I don't know, it's kind of like your mind has room to breathe when you're not forcing it. Yeah.
Jeez, I need to get on that because I have trouble writing myself, and it's just like you get in this thing and you just like let it sit for months.
Yeah,
That's my thing, but it's like I gotta keep at it. But I know that you're very like on top of your stuff, and that's like one of the things that we've admired about you.
Oh,
Just like
thank you.
you're on top of your things. You know exactly what you want, and you work out everything just perfectly.
Well, sometimes it's not. It doesn't happen that way.
But that's the thing is like on the outside of the view, it's like, dude.
It just always turns out amazing.
Yeah.
Whenever you execute
Yeah,
it,
but I
it turns
see
out
that so
amazing.
with my work, I'm like, oh, yeah. And even with like, I'm sure Edgar can relate. You're like, even my work is like, wow. Everyone that's in the field, but just seeing the overall turnout of your stuff, it's phenomenal. You have an amazing team.
Thank you.
Just Christina and Jeremy alone. How long have you known Jeremy? And how did you like meet him?
I've only met Jeremy like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I met him through a mutual friend of ours that was like in the film department, like taking a film major basically. And she had asked me to help her on one of her projects, and Jeremy was helping her. And that's how I met him. And eventually it was just like, I needed a DP. And she was just like, why don't you just ask Jeremy? And I was like, I don't know, like I don't know him that well. But then, you know, filmmaking is all about getting to know, networking, like building your own little team. And so I was like, okay, why not? And I worked with him the first time, and ever since then it's just been like, great.
What's the first short that you actually worked with Jeremy though?
It was a horror short. It was called Whiteface.
If
you guys remember. I actually don't like talking about Whiteface just because it was so... Like that was my first like directing ever, like writing, directing. That was my first short film I ever...
Too, right?
It was with Christina too, the first thing I ever worked with her. And I mean, looking back at it now, it's like, I can totally, like, if I'm going to do horror, I need to do it right. And when I did that horror, it was just like, I didn't know. But, you know.
Yeah, we all have those.
We all have those ones that are, like, make you cringe a little bit. Yes. But, no, it was good. I mean, it was that project that made me realize and finally decide, like, yeah, you know, I do want to be a director. I like this. This is what I want to do and what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We had a class together where we all had to come together and do a short film, and we did We're Okay.
We did We're Okay.
And wow.
That was such a good experience.
Yeah,
it was a great experience.
Really was.
Actually, it really was. We learned a lot from it, and
yes.
Yeah, like even like
I think that's still the biggest team that I've worked with on a film.
Really? We're Okay? That's awesome.
Like, it was me, it was
Kazuki.
Selena, it was Kazuki, it was Aaron, it was Judy. Like, the biggest... Jeremy even helped. Yeah, it was the biggest crew I've worked with.
I just know, like, once, like, working with you and then you incorporating Jeremy, it was just... It changed our perspectives, at least. Like, we did a full 180.
Yeah, 180 of just right when we met. When we started working with both of you, it just...
Oh, that's so good, though.
Especially, like, with me, because I've only had one project before that where I actually got really into directing, and I was like, I have no idea. And I know that we said we're
Was that Blueberry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we were originally going to, like, direct Together, but I think you basically took over everything in directing. And
For We're Okay?
Okay, yeah. And
I asked you though. But I would always be like, Joseph, like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, you always included me in, but I was like, I'm just sitting. Like, I felt like I had no say, not in a bad way. It was an amazing way because I was watching you work,
Okay.
and it's like I had no say because I had no idea what I was talking about or anything. And taking that from experience working on, it's like, you know,
you learned from that.
I've learned a lot. I feel like I've learned a lot more working with all of us than from school. Just seeing how you direct and how
to
Jeremy
interact
came in.
with-
Exactly.
yeah.
It was like such a learning experience, and from there on, I've been improving my skills, and it was so awesome.
And I think that's the
And
best way to learn,
It
from
is,
experience,
from
right?
experience from
your
other
peers
films,
and
From your
friends
peers,
and
you're
everyone.
right.
It's
yeah.
just awesome, man. And yeah, so this
No,
is
I'm
definitely
so glad. That's good. I'm so
yeah, man.
Yeah. No, that helped me too, because like I had never managed a team that big. So like trying to stay on top of my game of like, you know, Kazuki sound and like you with DP and everything, but then also making sure the actors are getting, you know, the time and attention they need from me and the help they need. It was a little like,
Was it a little
it
stressful?
was a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I think after it came out and we had it and just like watching it as a whole and the feedback and like how everything, it worked out so well. Like I still watch it from time to time. I do that with all my films, and I just like when I watch it, I'm just like, you know what, this was a really good one. This was a good thing that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially from what we learned from it. It's just, that's what I love, just seeing, comparing ourselves, like, especially where we are
the past.
now.
Compared from the past.
Yeah.
Compared to,
We
like,
worked
let's
on
say,
We're Okay.
When you see your work from like the first work you've done and you compare it to your work now, if they're different, that's good.
Exactly.
That means you're growing, you're progressing, and you know that you're doing something right.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm glad we're all at a point where like, this was our work before, this is our work now.
I'm just working towards the future.
Exactly.
Just getting better.
Can you imagine where we're gonna be at a year from now?
I don't know. Probably a lot. We'll be in the Oscars.
We
will
could
be.
be. No, but
Dude.
I mean, anything is possible. A year ago from now, had no idea I would be making my own film that's going to be
Yeah.
in a festival, and now.
Look who you're now.
Yeah, exactly.
So awesome.
You guys are going to graduate soon, like.
And you've been graduated for like what?
6 months for now?
6 months.
6,
5
7
years?
months? Wow.
We're still in there. But yeah,
But
so
yeah.
this is definitely an amazing film you have to be proud of. For
Thank you.
as
I
long
know.
as you live. It's great work.
Thank
so
you, thank you.
thanks
so
for coming on to our
much.
show.
Thank you for
man.
having me, you guys.
you.
Like, I love this. I love, you know, talking with filmmakers about film. Like,
Yeah,
that's
for
cheesy
sure.
and cliche as that
Yeah.
sounds, like, you don't really get that community, especially here in Vegas. Like, such a short,
It's a
closed,
little
small
community
community.
of
And, like, to
filmmakers here.
find people that are passionate about the same stuff, and you can talk about, like, this scene and what you wanted from this actor. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We definitely gotta have you back on, like, to talk about We're Okay.
Oh, I
Where
would
we
love
all
to.
worked on it.
I would love to talk about We're Okay. That we're all, yeah.
So
That would be
awesome.
really good. That would be good.
Yeah. So, what are some of the current projects? So, you're definitely working on.
Any
like this-
future plans?
Yeah.
So
future
yeah,
plans.
so since we just did this, a lot of my work, you guys obviously know, has been like narrative drama, like about relationships, and it's very heartfelt and touching. But me and Christina, like, we know now, like, this is what we're good at and we can do it. But how are we going to challenge ourselves?
Yeah.
So our upcoming project, we have a couple ideas, mostly towards like comedy, because we want
Whoa.
comedy is hard, right?
Yeah.
And it's so hard, but it's a challenge, and we want to take that upon ourselves to really try and like see where we can go with it. And I don't know, we even have another idea for a thriller and maybe mixing the two. So like a
That'd be
dark
awesome.
comedy. Yeah,
Wow.
that's something that we're working on right now. And then after that, we have a project coming up with Ismahawk. They have their own YouTube channel here in Vegas, and they make a bunch of pop culture, like superhero, nerdy stuff. And we're actually going to be collabing with them for like an action fan film, like a short fan film. Yeah, so I'm really excited to do that, just because, I mean, they're great. I mean, that's Jeremy, that's my cinematographer, so they're a great team to work with as well. Yeah, but
Awesome.
yeah.
So, any of your future stuff that you produce and make, we'd love to have you back on.
Of course,
Just-
of course.
You're welcome back anytime to talk
Thank
about your
you.
stuff. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you
man.
guys for having
you.
me.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thanks everyone for listening. That was Filmmakers Lounge this week. And stay tuned for the next episode. Next week, we'll be back with someone new
Someone who.
with their short film.